So good morning to you from Dumfries Curling Centre, where we are broadcasting from the English Curling Championships 2018. I know at the moment is fighting for your attention with the Olympic bronze medal game between Scotland and Japan, but let's hope we can bring you some exciting curling here. We've got a choice of a few games to watch this morning. The one on screen at the moment is the Stephen Hines against Andrew Reid. Both teams have lost one game so far. Andrew Reid playing with Yellowstones, Stephen Hines with blue. And Stephen's just trying to clear some Yellowstones from the front of the house. Other games on ice at the moment today are Andy Taylor is playing Owen Rees, and Stuart Brand is playing Greg Dunn. In addition, we have the third game of the Ladies' Championship between Lisa Farnell and Hetty Garnier. They each won one game yesterday, so it's one game all. And it's best of 5, so today's game will give one an advantage but won't decide a winner. We'll have to get back tonight and maybe even tomorrow to find out who gets the first team to reach 3 games. So for the moment, we'll concentrate on the Hines-Reid game. As they both have lost one game so far. Because there are 7 teams entered, all teams haven't played the same number of games. But for both these teams, this is their 4th game of the competition. In the first session, Hines lost to Greg Dunn. Then he beat Andrew Taylor. And then he beat Owen Rees, and then he beat Andrew Taylor. Andrew Reid, meanwhile, in the first game, beat Andrew Taylor, following by losing to Greg Dunn, and then he had a bye, and then he beat Stuart Brand last night. So both teams on 2-1, and this is the second end of the game at the moment. Oh, that's an unfortunate shot there for Stephen Hines' team, trying to clear the yellows. They just push one yellow in right behind corner guards. So that's not such a good shot. Stephen Mann there, I think, played that shot. Certainly Andrew Reid's team now line 1 is trying to come round through the gap to lie 2 behind the centre guard. So Reid gets that thrown in behind the centre guard there, and Stephen Hines is trying to clear it. So it's the front stone, if not the stone itself. He's drawing quite a bit. It's drawing a great bit. Don't it's come to the other hand. Oh no, it did drawing a lot, and it's missed totally all the way through the middle there. That was played by Ethan Conlon. So just a quick update on the scores and the doors so far. Stephen Hyde's lost a 4 in this game. In fact, the first end. Andrew's got a 4. Stephen Hyde's 0. Lisa Farnell got 1 at the first end against Anna Fowler. Against Hetty Garnier. Andrew Taylor got 1 at the first end against Owen Rees. And Greg Dunn got 1 at the first end against Stuart Brand. It's early days yet, but Stephen unfortunately lost a 4 at the first end. I think he's got a few against him here. I can't see because of the bodies in the way, but hopefully they'll move slightly. Yes, there's 2 stones in there and lots of yellows at the front. So Stephen's in a bit of trouble here now. He's got to be clear from the front to try and get access to the house. He may try and clear. Centre guard at least. If he wants to clear the shot, he'll probably still leave himself lying at guard. So we'll see how this one finishes up. I think it's going to be a fairly heavy shot here from Stephen Hines, coming down the middle to try and clear off. If not the guards, then run back onto centre shot. That was always going to be a possible outcome there. He did get the front stone, but unfortunately he had just as he was sitting there and he missed his shot in the house. So it's still 2 shots lying for Andrew Reid. He's going to try and draw possibly pretty large guard in the hole that's there, or even come into the top of the 12 foot just to back out a third shot. So the second end here, 4-0 to Reid in the first end. Line 2, Stephen Hines got last stone. So that was 2-0 for Andrew Reid at the second end. So it's 6-0 for Andrew. At the moment, other scores are Andrew Taylor's 2-0 up on Owen Rees, and Stuart Bryan Greg Downs 1-1. And the ladies' game, Lisa Farnell Hitigani, is 1-1 as well. So 3 close games and one which has slightly been running away from Stephen Hines here. It's 6-0 to Andrew Reid and 2 more yellows lying in there. That was a bit unlucky there for Stephen Hines. Just robbed off that front guard. Looks like it was coming right down to the face of the shot stone. Just robbed off the guard to lie open. So it's very unfortunate. It gives Andrew a chance now to hit and roll to lie 4. So things not going Stephen's way at the moment. The Robs are going the wrong way against him, and the Reid team are playing pretty well here, keeping things fairly tight, and not missing many of their takeouts. And there's a good hit and roll in there from Andrew's team. There's a possibility for Stephen to get around to the face of that one, lie on the button if you can get this one perfectly from his third player. Just to get this right round onto the button there. And he'll have cut out and give Andrew a pretty difficult task to remove it. That was a good try there, just a little bit tight and just pushed the wrong stone, but sitting amongst them there now and cutting out a couple of the yellow stones. And we're still looking at trying to hit the blue. And Michael went to guard, and in the moment, in fact, there's a blue shot lying, I wonder. But that's a good shot if it is. It's still a good shot, and still pretty good at it. Andrew's going to go for it, I think. Bayes putting on the front, I think maybe the back yellow must be line shot. Because he's actually put a guard at the front. One right in a quarter freezing the blue stone. So from that big girdle at the last end, Stephen Hines managed to get a 1 out in the end. The score now 6-1 for Andrew Reid. In the other games, the two other men's games, both third ends were blanked. So it's still Andrew Taylor 2, Owen Rees 0, Stuart Brown 1, Greg Dunn 1. And the latest game, Hetty Garney stole a 1 against Lisa Varnell to lead 2-1. So all games now playing the fourth end. And here we have Stephen and Andrew Reid. And Andrew line 1, Stephen got a blue in front of it. Remember, we're playing the 5-stone free guard zone rule this week, because the European Championships in November will be 5 stone. So we have 5 stones. We have 5 stones at the front which can't be hit, which changes the dynamic sometimes in some of the games. I'm not sure how many teams have actually used it to its fullest so far. Oh, and that's a close shave there for Andrew Reid. Hitting the blue out, he just got the back yellow in. Just diverted enough to take the blue out and leave Andrew line 4 again. So all the luck going here, Andrew Reid's way. Hits and rolls across and just squeezes past the 2 yellows at the back with a bit of help. So Stephen Head's really up against it again here. 4 lying in there, and he hasn't got last stone this end. And they're taking a 1 at the previous end. So both other men's games at the last end ended up with a couple of blanks, and in the Brand Dunn game, Brand is now currently line 2 behind guards, and in the Reese game there's a couple of stones in the centre, as you can see here. There's a yellow stone in the centre there, which is Andy Taylor's stone. He's line 2 stone altogether. You're going to put it on the front ring. The score in that game is 2-1, 2-0 for Taylor. So Taylor having obviously he hasn't got last stone at this end and is trying to protect that stone he's got in the house already. But to go back to the Hines game, Ethan managed to get blue right in there on top of the yellow, just behind Ethan's head. You'll find a blue stone. There it is, just appearing now. That would be line's second shot, I think. The one at the yellow back appears for the shot, but the yellow coming in now may change that position. He's trying to pass that front guard and just come when you're to guard there. So that's a guard on the blue. So the blue can't be hit now. The yellow at the back is still line shot. What's Stephen got to play now? Well, there's the blue there, he can tap up in the front there. He's that one there. It's probably his best shot to try. Could have to get to behind some guards as well, and Andrew Reid's last stone here. So if Stephen can get that blue angled across to the back yellow, then he might manage. He would open the front up a little bit, but actually the long guard there makes it quite a hard shot to play. That angled blue. Because from the hack is probably right behind the guard is probably right in front of that blue stone. So that blue maybe not an option after all, because the guard is in the way. He made to draw around though. Draw around to outside of the blue at the front there. And even if he stands right, he can wick off that yellow as Steve's indicating. Or maybe he's going for the hit. Okay, so maybe he's going for the hit now. We'll have to see what kind of weight he plays with that. That could be good for hitting the yellow to roll in, or it could be good for the draw around into the 4-foot. We'll wait and see what kind of shot he plays. So there's a different hit from Stephen trying to hit a roller across. Has he got it? He's just not got it. Just hit too much of it. Stayed pretty straight there. Now maybe Andrew Reid could try the same shot. Yeah, Andrew's going to try the same shot. Head off the blue, roll across. Nothing much else he could do without opening the front up. So hit the blue, and if he rolls out, it doesn't really matter because it just takes away that same shot for Stephen. But try and get an inside edge and roll across to maybe like second shot or first shot even. So here's Andrews coming down now. He's shooting it hard. He's a bit tight, and then Stevens was. He's got the hit. Not good to get in for short. To go roll out, but he's taken away that. He's taken away that shot for Stevens. Stevens now he'd really just got to draw around here. Just although Tom might have just nudged the blue stone in the front, but they're just going to leave it there. Obviously didn't move very far. So see if we try and work out how to get a blue in there. And that's going to be quite tricky. Maybe a draw around that. There is a draw around behind those blue cars going up towards the... Coming down here, I think, on the out turn. Might draw at the last minute if he's got the right weight. Or if you try and tap up. He's still going around that side of the ice. Remember Andrew Reid line 1 at the moment. See if we try and draw to a lie shot. And then force Andrew into a difficult shot with his last stone. Shot coming down, maybe just in between there. Just did catch the blue, but not enough. And what he did actually opened up the draw now for Andrew Reid to come in, draws the 4 foot to pick up his 2. Andrew's pretty good at getting these shots here. I'm sure he'll be far away from getting the, if he doesn't actually get it into 4 foot. So it's a draw for 2 from Andrew Reid to take an 8-1 lead after 4 ends. So back live in the last end, Andrew Reid failed with his draw to get 2, he picked up a 1. And this is looking very similar to a couple of ends ago. Yellowstone in the house, that's actually got a lucky little wick off there, is rolling behind the guard. But Stephen Hines has last stone now in this end. Line 2 again, so he's going to try and work out how to get some 2 shots here. He's got a couple of guards up he could maybe use. If he can tap this yellow back and flop across behind the centre guard, that'd be a useful place to be. If you go the other direction behind the other two is a bit of a plant on there. So try to hit this, just a hack weight. And hopefully get a roll one way or the other. Off the brushes, there's actually Recce in the front guard now, so maybe not quite enough weight there. I think we truly call it hack weight. That's possibly slightly less weight than you want to, because that's just got the back ring, so that's probably why it cut onto the guard. He probably just played not enough weight there for the ice was given. Another strong just pushed in there by Stephen Hines' team to give Andrew Reid line 3. The fifth end of this game, the score at the moment, Reid 7, Hines 1. So the fifth end after the 4-minute break. Take a lot of ice there, Andrew Reid, obviously, for this shot. It must be quite a draw there to get anywhere near the centre line for a guard. He can afford to go wider if he wants to by going further up the sheet on the left-hand side, isn't he? Go left, they keep going left. You can go to you can go up to the side of the sheet, up to anywhere near the hop line, really. But it's very difficult to judge how far to go to get the stones to the right position. In fact, he took too much ice there, did he? Maybe he took too much ice. That one isn't curled, and there's still a straight run through there for Stephen to maybe get a double out of this. So this one goes. Stuart Brand stole a 1 against Greg Dunn at the fourth end to lead 2-1. Andrew Taylor took a 1 at the fifth end to lead Owen Reese 3-1. And Vince Van Nel got a 2 back at the fourth end. There's two stones all. 2 shots all in the ladies' game after 4 ends. So this one coming down now from Steve Hines. That's going to draw too much, is it? He's going past the guard. Oh, he just caught the guard, and no, he just misses it. So still line 3 for Andrew Reid in this position. In the ladies' game at the fifth end, Hetigani took a 2, and It's now Dizafanel 2, Hitigani 4. Bit of one nudging Stones there again, obviously, and Stones are going back into play where they were before. Andrew Reid now going for the in-wake off the blue to lie 4. Yet again, Stephen looking at a field of yellow as he will be going to play his last stone. half-time break here at Dumfries. Another win for Andrew Reid the last 10 makes the score 8-1 for Andrew. In the other games, Greg Dunn took a 3 against Stuart Brand to lead 4-2. And it's still 3-1 for Andrew Taylor over Owen Rees, and 4-2 for Hitigani over Lisa Farnell. Just looking here at the game, it's only going to draw the ice at the moment. Andy Taylor against Owen Rees. Score being 3-1 for Taylor. Comes through here with another one for Taylor to lie 2 close up. And one in the wing, so quite tight here for Owen to get round there to those 2 yellows, and it's nothing that way. He's going to 1, 2, 5, 6. Not sure whether his last stone or not coming up. No, there are 2 more stones after this one, so it's 2 stones for Owen and 1 for Andy Taylor to come. Owen trying to see how he can maybe clear the front of a bit to give himself more access to the ones in the house. Hits those blues. I think he's got a blue still lying there. He's got to carry for 3 or thing maybe. I'm trying to get one in the circles perhaps. I'm not sure hitting these blues is going to make much difference. He may. Certainly the second one in the line will go to the winger in the yellow. But the first one will probably stick around more or less where it is. But let's see what happens. Sometimes you never know with curling stones, they do all sorts of strange things. Depending on how the angles are, how closely together they are. So Owen throwing a heavy one down here on his own rocks. He's actually, I think, going to miss them all. No, he's just got the front. Squeezed the blue in. It's going to go through. Still a blue guard up there. And yes, I mean, Andy Taylor just put another guard, presumably in that gap to stop the draw through. But it'd be interesting to see if Owen could have got a draw through that gap, either behind the 2 blues on the left. He could have nearly got to short position, the left-hand side of the 4-foot, and forced Andy Taylor to come through, but still leave the gap open for Owen's last stone. I mean, I think he probably could have got through there on the in-turn. Owen could have got through there in-turn to drive to the left of the 4-foot as you look at it, behind those 2 blue guards, forced Andy then to follow him through, and then Owen would have a chance to come through himself. So the front would still be open, but as it is now, I think the front's going to be blocked up by Andy putting a shot in the middle on the centre line in the front of the house. So that then finishes, and now we're on to the back to the Stephen Hines Andrew Reid game, our featured game of today. Shot got up from Stephen Hines, and a draw round there from Andrew Reid. The last game we're watching, of course, the 3 for Andy Taylor over Owen Rees. That gave us out 6-1. Here in this game, a good shot round the guard there from Tristan Hughes. That's a great shot to come to the face of that yellow stone. So Andrew Reid now take his own guard off. No. Obviously, it's 6 stone at least to the end. He was looking to take the guard off. And he's progressed further. And Jamie Walton is on the hack. Throwing the yellow rock to try and take off the centre guard, especially the 6 stone at the end. And he's done that. So in fact the blue stone in the house here came from Stephen Mann. Stephen Hines persisting, putting another centre guard up, obviously trying to score more than one this end. He's 8-1 down at the moment, so he did just score a couple. But as I said, Andrew Taylor took a 3 there. Owen Rees. Stole a 3 in fact. That makes it 6-1 for Andrew Taylor over Owen Rees. 8-1 for Andrew Reid over Stephen Hines. But the Stuart Brand Greg Dunn game very close at 2 for Stuart, 3 for Greg. So a great shot there from Stephen Hines to finish at end with a 2. Having been lying at 2 against, a straight double raise, double as somebody said, to give him a 2. So concentrate. Move far end now and see what's happening. Other games, Lisa Van El scored a 2 there against Hetigani to make it 4-4. He's hotting up that game. The Andy Taylor is 6-1 up against Owen Rees, and we're about to see the finish of the end between Stuart Brand and Greg Dunn, and that means all games will play 6 ends very shortly. The Brand Dunn game looking here. This is the last stone of this game, which is yes, well, Greg Dunn is lying 1 blue, 2 blue maybe, 1 blue, definitely 1 blue. Next year try to see if he can get a multiple out here. Well, in fact, Stuart does have last stone. He's only 3-2 down, he does have last stone. I'm not too sure what he's trying to play here. Stuart's playing the red stones. Quite tricky to draw in the back. That long guard there was stopping the draw around to the 4 foot. I think that's what he's got to try and do. Not sure there's 1 or 2. For the front blue is out counting the red at the back here. Might well be. So this is the last draw. But there's 2 stones to go after this. This is Stuart's first stone. Coming down, he's a bit heavy, he's running wide, he's just wrecked in the guard, push the red in, not roll across. Made it perhaps even more difficult for his last stone than it previously was. So Greg just about to draw, try and beat that back red, put it on the top of the 12 foot, try and beat that red to by a deficit 2 and block Stuart's path into the centre. And on the Taylor-Rees game, Taylor's just taken a 1 at the 7th end. So he now reads 7-1. All these scores are available on curlingzone.com. Greg coming, they're not really quite heavy enough, still short of the house actually. So yes, Stuart, but it is blocking Stuart's path into the 4 foot. You can't really get to where his brush is there. It's difficult to get to there. The angles are not right, the guard's in the wrong places for him. Going by his last shot, which he just played, which ran quite straight and nicked the guard, and going with the fact that Greg Stone didn't roll out across that much in that ice, and just when it's possible to play dead weight just inside the guard, just outside the throwing it just to short the house and just draw around into 4 foot. It's a delicate draw, requires precise sweeping and judgment. It's quite possibly all he's got left to try. Even if he gets into white, he just loses a 1. I'm not sure when he's lying. Trying to throw overheads. Possibly, Greg, there are 2 blue stones lying. So even if he came into the white, he'd cut down to 1. And in a close game like this, where it's only 3-2, 2 done, he'd tie it up at 3-all. He'd go down just to 4-2. Still be in contention. This is only the 6th end after all. Sometimes the case of giving a 1 just to try and get the hammer and not give too much away. So here he goes, Stone is on his way down. He's trying to try the front blue. Well, he's taking the front blue out. So it will just be 1 blue to Greg. So it'll be 4-2 to Dunn over Brand after 6 ends only. It's a bit of a slow game, this one. Lots of stones in play, lots of discussion going on. I'm sure the umpire will be going in there to try and tell him to speed up the game a little bit. Because they're back on the ice again at 4 o'clock, so they it's 1:30 now for 6 ends. They're going to be pushing their time to actually have a break between this game and the next game. The team to buy the next session is, in fact, the Greg Dunn team, so they've got buy the next session. But the Stuart Brand team are due back on again at 4 o'clock. So stick with this men's game here between Brand and Dumfries, the closest game on the sheet at the moment. Reed 8, Hines 3, Taylor 7, Reese 1. And we may take a dip into the ladies' game, which is winding up to be a good one at 4-4 after 6. So while this game between Dunn and Brand is in the early stage of the end, let's move across to the ladies' game. Farnell against Garnier, 1 game each. Remember, before this is the 3rd game of the best of 5. Farnell playing the Red Stones is lying 2 in this end. She played a great shot at the last end to corner freeze a blue stone. Hetty Garnier had an attempt at the hit, which would have given her flying 5, but unfortunately she wrecked a guard, and Lisa drew for 2. Just. and that was make it 4-4. And here in the 7th end, this is line 2. She's put a guard up there, and that's pretty good guard. It's not much of a gap through the middle, just a little bit. So the Hetty to play next, trying to get through there. Knocking Anna out of the way to see if she can see through. It's very tight. Had to be fairly heavy for the stone not to be curling away. She's going to miss the front guard, and both guards are very little, so she'll probably just take the guard off. Take the guard off and ask Lisa to throw the guard again. I mean, there's a double one actually, if she wanted to do it, but obviously with that stone, she's going to do that. She takes the guard off here, and this is to put it back again, so a straightforward hit. If she takes the guard off here, and Lisa puts the guard back on again, then Hetty has got a double there, and the 2 stones in the house, which will give her 1. So, my decision here now to take the guard off. And if she does have last stone, she can go for double now, but if she goes for double now and doesn't successfully make it, then she can sneak herself, because Lisa will just put another guard up. So she could take the guard off here, get this to put the guard up again, and then go for the double. So stone's on its way, a bit of frantic sweeping, I think. She's through the gap. It's through, just missed it, but she got lucky to wick off that one. So, that was another interesting consequence there, but I think Lisa could put a guard up again. Which in itself is a risky. If she doesn't get the guard right, then she could lose a 2. So she could put the guard up, and the double actually is less likely now because the angle's a bit steeper. So in fact, well, Hetty did manage to put that blue stone there. I think over on the red ones. She shouldn't actually leave herself that angle for her last stone if she needs it. So another guard here from Lisa to fill that gap at the top of the picture, protect the red stone, and leave Hetty with a tricky last stone. And obviously, if she goes to the double, she'll take her own stone out and just get the 1. So the vital guard is for Lisa. Could make a 3-shot swing here between taking 1 or losing 2. So quite a lot of noise in the background. Sort of shouting from the Greg Dunn team, I think it is, on the 2 sheets away. So not sweeping this stone of Lisa, I don't think Sarah's telling them to hold back it. It's quite wide, it's got to draw a bit. It should draw at the end. It should draw at the end just right, so on the centre line. And if it stops there, it's excellent shot. A great shot there from Lisa. It's a pretty good guard. And now all Hetty's got is a double at that, or a tap up in fact. Probably tap up's easier, just tap the blue stone at an angle into the head. Into the 4-foot or the button. So that's probably the only shot left, which is what she could try and do. Look over at the game between Stephen Hines and Andrew Reid. We've been used to the situation that gave lots of yellow stones in play, being Andrew Reid stones. But here we've got a situation where there seem to be 4, I think maybe 5 blue stones in the house, which are Stephen Hines stones. So Andrew Reid now in a mission to try and get rid of some of those. And scores. Oh, Michael's called the screws on straight away. Just watching the corner of my eye for the Stone the girls game, but that has been hit by Hetty, and it's just at the wrong angle. So it's a still a one for Lisa Farnell, and a hit there for Andrew Reid. Takes his one there. Good shot there against pressure. So one for Reid, one for Farnell. Reid now leads 9-3, and Farnell leads 5-4. So still a one for her. The Heinz team there gathered together. They're going to have a shake of hands here. They've played 7 ends, they're only 6 down, and the shake of hands comes after 7 ends there. So that's a win for Andrew Reid by 9 shots to 3. Obviously the lying 5 was the last throw of the dice for the Heinz team, but Reid did a great shot there to hit and stick for 1 and win the game and carry on, just winning, having lost just 1 game so far. So that's 9-3 for Reid, and Stephen Heinz drops to 2 wins and 2 losses. So meanwhile, over on sheet number F, we have Stuart Brand against Greg Dunn. Another close game here with the score being Brand 2, Dunn 4. Dunn stole one the last end and is lying 1 stone behind the centre guard there today in this end. And there was another blue stone I couldn't see because she was standing in front of it, so Gredner lines 2 stones in there. They put a guard up on the short stone. A quick look into the girls' game there. Hetty, of course, is last stone now, and there's 3 yards up there now. I'm not sure how many stones have played this end, but obviously the 5 stone 3 guard zone rule. They don't think they'll be able to hit this one yet. They're not into the 6th stone of the end, I don't think. So after the Reed Hines game finished 9-3, other game finished here is Andrew Taylor 9, Owen Rees 1. So still one men's game on, and this ladies game we're watching currently. Both games very close. The ladies at 5-4 for Farnell, and the men's game is 4-2 for Dunn. Farnell guarding up again. Trying to steal another one this end. She stole one the last end. So trying to steal another one this end. So Hedgie took the one guard off. Oh, and that's a hogged guard there for Lisa's team. Oh dear. Bad shot there by Sarah. Hogged the guard shot, so it's now open. The store is now open for Anna to take the guard off. Or try the run back double. I think they're going for the guard anyway. So that's a bad shot there from Sarah. Who do I get that? Unless it picked up, it was rough, it was way short, it just didn't get over the hog line. So Anna's coming down here now. Is that going to get the double? That looks pretty good. Gets the double, rolls across, and adds another guard to her blue stone on the other side. So that's a disastrous shot there from Sarah to let Anna in to do that. That's a great shot there, so them to draw behind those two guards to the freeze in the back blue. So it's a game changing perhaps shots. A pair of shots there. So all very exciting here. Sorry we're not watching the games in front of us on the ice, but we're all engrossed in the final end of the Olympic bronze medal game, which Japan beat GB by 5-3. We were lying 4-4, and Eve had to play a difficult shot for two, which he'd liked to do, and just a bit wide, and spun the Japanese stone into centre to take one. Japan won 5-3. So back to this game here. And Lisa just played a great shot round the guard there to the top of the 4-foot to lie shot. Hit his last stone. So there's a clear some of the front guards off. And that could be a tricky, that could force a brew onto red onto back blue. Oh yes it did. But no great harm for that one. But there's another guard there just for Lisa. Play the same shot, a bit less weight, guard up at the front. Mind you, you've got to be careful because there's an angled blue raise on the blue onto red, so there's an angled one of the two blues out the side. He could angle it up a bit and take the red out and lie two, but assuming Lisa puts a perfect guard on and Hetty has to play the raid, it's a slightly harder shot. So let's hope that for Lisa's sake she gets the guard on here. For Hetty's sake, we'll have to see what happens to the shot of Lisa. So yes, so no gold medal, no medals at all for Great Britain in the curling this year in the Winter Olympics, which may have potential down the line issues as regarding funding. You know how UK sport really want medals for their money, and no medals this year. Could we see a change in the whole funding situation for next year, for the next 4-year period? We'll have to wait and see about that one. And Star's going to help. Is she going to help sweep, or they're going to have a chat? I think they're going to have a chat here. What to do next? Yeah, they're obviously having a chat down the ice. That's what to do. See if we can see anything on the other camera. I think sure. Sarah and Lisa having a chat down the ice further, and Sarah's now back in the head. Poor she was before, and it looks like the same shot that they were going to try before is the choice. Guard and centre line. Going to go far, is it? Is it going to be from behind? I could set off a double here, but careful. Oh, which could bring brought that a bit further to freeze it, but that's a set of a fairly sort of double, but again, there's a back blue which could be in danger, but I think if on the nose hit here would be a double for two. This is the same spot where a couple of ends ago she turned the stone in and was a bit tight and wrecked the guard. So you've got to make sure she's out of the stone here, because I think if it starts to curl off the centre line, it's in trouble. So she's got to make sure she's out to the brush. It's quite a lot of ice there, so there must be a bit of a curl, as I said. She's got to be careful she doesn't actually just hit it on the high side, and she may just jam the second right onto back blue and give away a two. So it's a tricky shot here. Not as straightforward as it looks. So Hedigani throwing their stone now, last stone at the end. It's called already, which means quite tight, which must mean he's going to cut it up, which may mean Anna's been well quite a long way, and that's going to reckon the guard again. Well, that really wrecked the guard again. And that's another another one to Lisa there. One to Lisa. One to Lisa makes it 3 ends in a row they've scored, and that's 6-4. And that's really the second time coming down this way on that particular line that we've seen Hetty throw the stone a bit tight and just gone right across the centre line, wrecked on the guard. So he's not getting out the brush there on her out turn hits. So 6-4 for Lisa with 2 ends to go. Can she continue this stealing of the shots at every end? The other games is brand done. They are still on their 8th end. Stuart Brand actually got a 1 at the 7th end to go to 3-4. And this is now the 8th end, and Greg is lying a couple in there. A bit more open than some of the previous ends we've seen in this game. So it's still Stuart Brand 3, Greg Dunn 4. And it's Lisa Van Nel 6 and a further 4. The 2 other games finished already. Reed 9, Hines 3, and Taylor 9, Reese 1.
Guys, hard all the way, come on, we've got to get this. throw top forward, you come around, it's good, right? And if we chip, it's good too. You throw back forward, then around and fast.
So a single shot there for Greg to make the score to 5-3. And into the ninth end now of this game. And while they're just starting to get the set up, we'll just have a quick transfer over to the ladies' game where things are happening. And yes, we've got 2 stones in there for Hetty Garnier in the circles and some guards up front. Lisa Stoll on the last end. Lisa Stoll on the first end, so Lisa is currently at 6-4. Hetty's last stone. And this is the 9th end in the 3rd game. 1 game all. Teams are back again at 4 o'clock, so the moment that we're going to the extra end. Teams are back on at 4 o'clock, so they won't want to go to the extra end. And that's coming in, that's very wide actually, that's going to miss altogether. Oh dear, that's a bad miss there. And means that Hetty now set up with a 3rd stone in the house. Oh, bad miss here from Sarah after a missed guard at the last end. Give the initiative, definitely the initiative on to Hetty now. If Sarah's coming down, that must mean we want to skip stones shortly. Big attempt there from Lisa to get rid of his blue stones. A big shout from Sarah, but she just wrecked the last of the guards, and now it's lying 3 blues. So this is linked into a big end here for Hetty. Could be a game turn. This is the 9th end, and they're 2 down, and they've got last stone. So all of a sudden, this game could turn around here. Started off with Lisa getting a 1, and then Anna got 2 1s in a row, and then a 1 for Lisa to 2-2, then Anna went to 4-2, and then since then 3 scores for Lisa to go to 6-4. And this end could be a game changer all around here. In fact, competition changer, because it would make whoever wins this game goes to 2-1, which means the next game, as always was, is a vital game for the losing team to try and get back into the competition. They have to win the next game. So the winner of this game has 1 more game to win to be champion. The loser will have 2 more games to win. And the way these games are going is so close. It's anybody's title at the moment. So, poor shot there from Lisa, and now Hetty got a chance to draw for 5, which is certainly a major blow to Lisa's hopes in this game. Not too sure there. Maybe she could have avoided that blue, I think, by taking a bit more ice, but she managed to come right onto the top of the blue, and there could be a measure coming up here. No, she's kicked it away, so that means it must be a 5. So 5 for Hetty to score all of a sudden to 9-6. Come on, girl, clear. And poor Sarah's cleared the stones away herself there. I think needs a bit of help, girls, from that. That's a 5 on the board there, I think. Let's have a look at the men's game, where we've got 2 blues. Oh, there's a bit of controversy here as well, is there? We're looking at a burnt stone, perhaps. We've got Stuart with his footless stone. We're trying to work out what to do with it. Umpire will get involved, I'm sure. The stone must be moving because Stuart's just kicking it away. Well, it seems like agreed where to put the stone. Stuart's putting it there. Oh, a bit of controversy here. Exciting controversy all round. We've got Robin the umpire involved. So for the first time in this competition, we're seeing, apart from a few measures, we're seeing Robin come in to decide on what happened regarding a stone. Again, it's always Stuart as the innocent party. It's his decision where to put it. It's thrown away, so is that a Homan-esque moment? I think about the Rachel Homan in the Olympics, where she controversially removed the Danish stone, which had been burnt, but I'm not sure what happened in this situation, so can't really tell till we see talk to players afterwards. But whatever it is, it's given Stuart a free hit here to lie 2. After a bit of a delay in this game, she's already running late. It's like a even shorter time for their post-intergame feeding, etc. I think he missed that. Like for sure, body language, that shot is missed because that's going well inside. Or is it? No, he hasn't missed it, he's got it. He always missed it, just missed it. Came well inside the brush there. Martin and Mike Spain working hard, but to no avail. So, back to where we were with Greg. Now got a hit here for 2. And we'll take a rain check on that one for the moment, see what's happening in the ladies game. I can see that we have got here, we've got hit a line shot, laser line second shot, but obviously Laser needs to get 3 shots here. And Hetty's job is to get rid of as many as she can, as quickly as she can. So let's get a few more stones to go and may end up with a running out of stones by Lisa. So we'll go back to the Greg Dunn Sure game. Stone coming down here, Greg going to line 2 after this, is it? Yeah, a fairly heavy shot there from Jonathan Braden, and hits it on the nose, a bit of a roll, and lies 2. A bit of a brush bang there from Stewart. After that shot was just was a great way, but obviously it's slightly inside the brush perhaps, or maybe not enough ice. Greg's still lying 2, and Stewart a bit of a brush bang there, which is only one he does. We don't encourage it obviously, and we also these days players have to be very careful because break a brush and you've got to use it the rest of the game, which can be quite difficult when you can't sweep with it. It certainly happened here a couple of years ago to one of the players who whacked his brush against the white bars. You can see the side there, snapped it, and then had to play with it as it was, because he was allowed to add an extra head to the shaft or bring on a replacement brush. So new WCF rules allow 1 head per person per game. And we've had random brush selection and testing after each game, or after some of the games, randomly. Still a few sessions to go. There could be some more brush testing, just to make sure that the pads they're using are complying with WCF listings. All brushes have a Oxford 88 yellow fabric on them, used specifically for the WCF by a company in China, marketed in Canada. It's applied to all the manufacturers of brushes, of which there are about 6 in the world at the moment, and they have to use the fabric in their brushes, in their designs, and that's the only fabric allowed to be used. So back to the ladies' game here. Lisa trying to get, she got 4 stones left, Lisa, she's got to try and get 3 off it at least. I'm not sure whether that was a shot she wanted, but she's forcing Hetty to take the guards off. Double guard on there, take that one off. I think she's got to take that guard off because in theory the only way that Lisa can win the game is to use that guard and split it in. So if you get rid of that guard, then Lisa's only got 3 stones left and all of them have to count. So Hetty going to be hitting this one. In the men's game, Stuart Brand trying a double, a streaky double, didn't get it though. And that looks like Greg will now try and draw. Greg's still line 2, he'll try and put another draw in there. And in the ladies' game, we've got Anna took the guard off there, so Lisa now has got 3 stones left. So this is a hit and roll behind by Sarah, has to be perfectly played to make sure it does stay in the rings. If it goes out of the rings, then really the game is over. There's a red out the house, but nobody's going to try and move that. And so really, if this doesn't hit and stick, then, and Lisa's shooting hard, which doesn't sound good. Stone Lucido is coming down to make a roll off it. Oh, it is good though. That's a good shot. Maybe if I'd been overspeared a little bit, because the edge is possibly sticking out there. In fact, there's a run back, straight run back there for Hetty. Red onto blue onto red. Oh, in fact, that is possibly one of the risky shots she could play because, well, she doesn't want to leave the red line close to the house with nothing behind it. I think she would be okay. Red onto blue onto red. And a little bit of redstone close to the house, then there'll be no chance for Lisa to use it to score 4 points. Over the men's game, Stuart Brand now trying to draw for 1 against 3 breakdown counters. This one coming down, and that's wide again from hitting that. Oh, that is almost a disaster there. She caught that slightly less, she could have skipped the red in, but Lisa now's got a chance. Yes, that was Hetty's first one. Lisa got a chance now because Lisa can draw around behind these. That is quite interesting situation now because Lisa's lying 1 behind a guard. She can draw around another one behind that guard, and Hetty's then forced to draw, and then Lisa could have a draw or a tap back for 3 if we'll go to the extra end. So this game is not over yet. Even if she comes to there where Sarah's pointing, that makes it hard for Hetty to move. She's going to be on the side of the house behind the guards in some way without setting up a double and giving Hetty a difficult shot with her last stone, and then giving Lisa a good chance of her last stone to lie 3. So this game is not over yet. Could go to the extra end yet. Not quite round enough. It's in the house, but it's not exactly hidden. I'm sure a fairly straightforward hit for Hetty on the nose, or even just needs to hit it out of the circles. Hit at the circles, run Lisa out of stones, and take the game by 9 shots to 6. Some just didn't draw around very far. It's a good weight, but obviously the ice was either a bit wide or the stone was straight, and it just didn't catch the draw. So Hetty now to hit this one. It looks like Stuart Brand did in fact get the draw, and it looks like he's taking the first shot here at the 10th end in the other men's games, from what I can see in my other monitor. Yes, indeed he did. So it's 5-4 for Greg Dunn at the moment. Here's Hetty's shot. Nobody panic here. He's going to be hitting it out, and that's going to be 2 games to 1 for Hetty Garney. And she runs at Lisa Van Stones, 9-6 for Anna, for Hetty.
Just front 12. Front 12 here. If they're right in the middle of the front line, the second line.
So this is the last game on the ice. Stuart Brand playing Red Stones against Greg Dunn playing Blue Stones. The score is Brand 4, Dunn 5. It's 2:30 and they're back on again at 4 o'clock. It's the Brand team are, so this is hopefully not going to go to the extra end, but we'll all be rushing for lunch. So from Martin Gregory bringing that one into the house there, so sure. Line 1 with guards up. Gregory's got the guards off. Greg's got last stone, he obviously wants the guards rid of. And he has got 2 stones in the house, so as long as he can get access to the red ones, you get a chance of getting rid of them. So this game is going to go down to the last stones at the end, I think. Certainly a good clearance there. The Reds coming into the house, but it's going to be nowhere near anywhere important. In fact, it might go at the back of the house at the current rate. Jonathan Braden taking over from Red to sweep it out. Obviously, there's an interesting skip. Hangs at the back, but it should be okay back there. But a good clearance by Jonathan. But body checking for shooting Jonathan, just trying to get out of the way. But sure going to have to put a guard up here to protect those 2 red ones.
on, by 1 foot. Is it heavy? Yep. Hot! Hot! Come on, Mike! Go get a bounce. Go get a bounce. Go on. You want it. You want it. You want it.
So the last stone coming down there. Oh, and that's still very short. So an extra end here at the. So here we go, all live again into the extra end. Greg done his last stone, he's just putting one into the top of the 8 foot there. Sure, Brian without last stone. About to put one in the centre guard position. 5 all after 10 ends of normal time and playing the extra end. This one should have to stop, otherwise Greg will be hitting it. It is short of the house. So Greg to try and draw around it now.
No blanket.
I apologize in advance if we did.
So, a surprising win there at the extra end for Stuart Brand then. So Stuart Brand wins that one by 6-5 at the extra end, and that really opens the competition up. That's Greg's second defeat, I think, in the week. Because he also lost earlier in the week to Andrew Wilston. So Sisha's Andrew Wilston has lost 0 games. Andrew Reid's lost 1 game. Greg Dunn, Stephen has lost 2 games. And Stuart Brand has lost a couple of games as well. So at the moment then it's Reid against Wilston, and they actually play in the last session tomorrow morning. But later on this afternoon, well, very shortly actually, at just an hour's time, 4 o'clock, we get the next round of games, which includes Stuart Brand against Andrew Taylor, Owen Rees against Andrew Reid, Stephen Haynes against Andrew Wilston, and Anna Fowler, Hetty Garnier against Lisa Farnell once again. Greg Dunn has the bye. So we'll be back on here very shortly at 4 o'clock. We'll be competing, I know, against the Scotland-England rugby, but hopefully you'll watch the curling and have the rugby on in the background. So we'll speak to you again shortly. Bye-bye.